just have some questions for you.
Of course, yeah.
Before we make everything official. Like, okay, so I just wanted to hear your story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, I just want to get to know you better, obviously. Relationships are so freaking important, especially one like this. So like, what's your story with all this? Like if you told me a little bit, but like, you dropped out of college, or you dropped out of college, it wasn't right? Not high school.
Yeah, Your Honor. So I graduated high school 2017. That's when everything started for me because I was gonna go into the Air Force. Like, I'm big into fitness right now, but I was gonna go into the Air Force in June of 2017, and then I was back home for spring break in May of 2017, and I was watching one of Tai Lopez's videos or ads, and he caught my attention. And next thing I knew,
wait, who? Who's?
Tai Lopez.
Tai Cruz? Oh, Tai Lopez, dude.
Yeah,
I think it's Tai Cruz. I was like, what the frick?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, Tai Lopez, dude. I always forget his name.
Yeah, no, and I got a lot of curiosity from him because I hated school and I had bad grades in school. So when I started watching his videos, I started just being curious, and I remember taking notes and watching his videos for like 7 hours straight, and I realized, holy crap, this is what I want to do. And I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to kind of like be my own boss. So I decided that same week I went home from spring break. I went to my Air Force recruiter and I said, hey, I'm not going to the Air Force. And I was about to go up to MEPS for like in Portland to make it official and everything. So didn't go to that. And then I tried starting SMMA in April, and I got one client. It was $250 a month. It was a Mexican restaurant. And it failed though. It failed because I didn't deliver results. So that client ghosted me after. And I got discouraged, man. I gave up on it. And then that's when I gave up on it like in May or June of 2017 after I graduated. And I had to get a regular job, but I didn't want to. I was embarrassed because I was excited. I was excited to tell my family like, hey, I'm starting this business and stuff. And so then I decided to move to Portland to go to PCC, Portland Community College. And that was in September. I hated that too. And I started working at Sprint as my first sales job. So I was doing that, and then I dropped out of college, I think December, and then after that, I think starting January, I was working at Sprint selling.
1 sec.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I just walked outside, so my Wi-Fi
no worries.
Disconnected, so it like cut out. So keep going. So you're working at Sprint.
So yeah, I started working at Sprint in December. January, I started picking it up, and then by February, from February all the way till June, that's when I was working. I was the top sales rep in the region, which Portland has one of the top regions in the nation. So I was one of the top reps there. And then with that confidence that I gained, I had money, and then I gained the confidence in sales because I used to be very introverted. So I quit there, and I was going to go be a personal trainer because, once again, I love fitness. So I was going to be a personal trainer at a gym. That shit sucked. It didn't work out. So I quit that job within, I think, like 30 or 40 days. And I had a bunch of bills in Portland, so I couldn't afford them, man. I couldn't afford them anymore, and I had to move back home and start completely over. So now I was a failure because I had dropped out of college. I had no money. I had a lot of debt, and that's why when you bring up the debt, it's relatable. And then I had to find a way to figure it out, But the one thing that I knew I was never going to go back to being poor was because I had sales skills. So I took I borrowed an extra $500 from my mom, and when I moved back home, and I invested into Choose Prestine's course. That was in September. I found out about them really early. Like they had a few hundred subscribers on YouTube. I hit them up on Instagram. They liked me. And then within like 2 weeks, I closed my first client for $2,000 a month because they were working with me one-on-one. I bought their program, but they also helped me one-on-one just because they heard,
like Jovan and Quinn did.
Exactly, yeah. And they heard my story, so they wanted to help me out, and they knew that I had the drive and everything. So I closed my first client for $2,000 a month within 2 weeks. And then, I just slowly started getting my name out in the Facebook group. And by January of this past year, that's when I was doing good. They knew me more. So then I went from working on my SMMA to working with them because they wanted me to help them grow their company. And
how much were they paying you? How much were they able to pay you?
They were paying the very bare Loom call recorded. But they called me on the phone. They said, hey, we want you to move to Serbia with us because we just opened the offices up and stuff. And I said, yeah, man, I'm down. And I had no commitments here. I'm living back at home still, with my parents. And then I decided to move over there to Serbia. Within 1 week of being there, I hated it, man. For me, it was more of that personal thing. And so I went back home, and then I had to start over a little bit on that end again. But I decided to take on coaching business again because while I was working with them, I started my coaching too. But I couldn't take on many students because I didn't have time. So I came back. I applied for Ty Lopez. Within I think the first 2 weeks, I went to Beverly Hills, Ty Lopez's house. I did good at the work sample. It was like a test basically. I did really good because of my sales. Came back the next week. They hired me, and then now I'm doing sales for them, and then I'm doing like back end stuff, work for them. And in that time, it's so cool because I get to work from home and I get to do my coaching business on the side as well. And now it's just kind of like growing my coaching business as much as I can, but I have bigger plans with that, and then just evolving more into like working more personal with the students and having more time to that than just Ty Lopez.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick, dude.
But it's all a roller coaster, man. That's what I tell you is going in debt, moving back home, starting over, going to Serbia, getting your hopes up, and then having to tell your parents that you failed and you had to start over. Like, it sucks, but all that stuff you learn from. And now I'm kind of in the best position that I've ever been in, just because I took that risk and I took that action. And it's just like stuff that literally anyone can do. It's just you got to keep going.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's very true. That's sick. That's a freaking roller coaster of a life. And then when did you start? When did all this begin? Like, when did you drop out of college and get your client, the Mexican restaurant?
Yeah. So it was May 2017 when I watched the Ty Lopez video. May 29th is when I closed the client for $250 a month. And then June 10th was when I graduated that same year. I went to college, started September 22nd. I dropped out around December, like first week of December. And then from there, I was still working at Sprint. So going into 2018, that's when I became the top sales rep and everything. And then I started my whole business again in September of 2018. But that time, the reason why I had worked the second time was because I had once again invested into Choose Pristine. I got that one-on-one mentorship, and that's ultimately what helped me, because instead of watching YouTube videos and hoping on my luck and stuff, I actually had a skill and an organized plan, and that's what changed it.
Right. That's sick, dude. Wait, so another question I have is so when you started with the Mexican restaurant, what kind of happened? What did you do with them that you would never do again?
Yeah. I was doing social media management, and what that is just posting content for them. But first off, I was shitty at it. I was shitty at it. I didn't know how to post good. I didn't have a good camera, so I was just trying what I could with my phone. I wouldn't be consistent with the posting, and it was a small town. So it's here in Southern Oregon. It's not that big, so I wasn't I didn't have a wide variety of clients to target. What I do differently now with my clients is when I work with real estate agents, because real estate agents, it's kind of hard to do it for them, but all I do is offer 3 things. I offer Facebook ads, of course, to bring the leads in, the automated text, which is what I was telling you about, and then the automated emails. What I do with those 3 things is I say, hey, I'm very specific on these 3 things because I'm an expert in them, and that's why I'm charging you $2,500 a month. And with the Mexican restaurant, I was charging for I helped them with their website. I was helping them with their pictures, and I told them I was gonna do all these things, but I didn't know how to do them, so it didn't end up working out. But yeah, man, now I try to do as little things as possible that actually work and move the needle, and then charge a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's sick. So my dad. It's actually funny because I actually worked for an SMMA at one point. My dad owned one back when I was in middle school, so literally 6-7 years ago, when it was just starting. But it was all social media management, and I remember he had 30 employees and each one had 3 accounts that they were managing or something like that. But I remember he sold the company because it was it wasn't losing money, but he wasn't making money.
It wasn't profitable.
Right, so for the longest time, I just thought when I heard about SMMA, I think the first person I heard about was E-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Iman Gaji, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw some ad because I was gonna do literally 2 months ago I was gonna do drop shipping. But then I saw what am I saying? I saw an ad for E-Man, Godzi, or something like that, and then I saw Choose Pristine, and that's when I was like, what the frick is SMMA? And I was like, oh yeah, my dad does this. Anyway, so long story short, that's what I was gonna do was freaking a drop shipping business, which would have been a nightmare. That's one that you have to work on night and day.
So you just learned about you just kind of got back into the SMMA just not too long ago, looking into it more.
Yeah, basically, about what month is it? July? It was in May. It was in May when, end of May, I think, when I kind of discovered what it was. I was like, okay, because I left for New York City, so I'm $10,000 in debt to my parents because I was gonna be an actor. Wait one sec.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
No worries.
Okay. So, dude, my ankle's like broken. I'm like trying to
man.
walk, but I keep like having to stop. Anyway, I was in New York. I was gonna be an actor. I dropped out, and this was like a couple weeks ago. And basically, I'm $10,000 in debt. So basically, like, yeah, I've heard about it for 2 months, and I've been studying it. And like, I almost did two's pristine, but nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, it was trash. And he actually got beat up and almost died.
Oh man.
Like, some of his students found him and like almost killed him.
Wow.
It was bad. Like, it was bad. Anyway, so I was involved in that, and then after that, I was like, never again with online stuff because it's bad. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that's why I'm like hesitant slightly.
Of course.
Is because I that happened, and I'm like, okay, like he basically just stole my money right in front of my face. But
wait, who was that again?
His name was Reza Mokhtarian.
Oh, never heard of him. Where's he from?
He's from like Ontario, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like you were a little skeptical, and you kept saying that too. Like, I'm a little skeptical. I figured you had a bad experience in the past, and you know the only thing that's gonna allow you to get past that is by trusting someone again, and seeing where it goes. The one thing I'll tell you is like, I'm not gonna lie to you and say like we're gonna get you quick results. We're gonna get you the best results ever. It's all a risk at the end of the day. Maybe you could profit from it. Maybe you can't if you don't apply the things we teach you. But I'm not, I don't like hold my students' hands. I don't tell them like, hey, this is what we need to do every day. Like, I give them a plan. They take action on it. We get on the calls and we analyze, what's working, what's not. But at the end of the day, man, I tell people bluntly, like if you want to succeed, you got to apply these things daily. When I got on the call with my coach, I call him once a month, probably, or twice a month. I don't like to bother him too much because if he gives me the good information from the beginning, I won't even need to bother him. I'll just need to apply it and then just wait for the results to show. That way I can then get on the next call and say, hey, this worked. What can we do next?
Right.
And that's what I was going to tell you, though, is like, I'm here to help you, though. Like, I'm not going to say, like I said, I'm not going to overpromise, like, fake stuff that I can't promise. The one thing I can promise is that I'm not going to screw you over the way these other people have or the way, things didn't work out. And I will do my best to help you out because I see what kind of situation you're in. And that's the pressure that it's on me as a coach to, like, make sure that you succeed with this because you're paying a lot of money for it. But at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna treat you the same way I would treat my family member, just to make sure that whatever you're paying, you're gonna get that money back and some.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sick, dude. I mean, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. And like, I guess like some other questions I have too, is like, you've had how many other students before in the past? Tell me straight up, like if I did this, and you kind of taught me the ropes and everything. Plus, I have a little bit of sales background, so I'm not great at sales, but like I'm a charmer. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
People are kind of like my passion and everything. So there's no issue there. But basically, like you truly do like think, and that like it's a very like lucrative, scalable thing. You know what I mean? And like what even happens? Like what would happen? Like, let's say I do this whole process where I reach out to businesses and I get a single call, and then they sign with me, right?
Yeah.
Like what happens then? Like what's the next step? So I mean, these are just like all the things I want to know before I hop on board for sure. You know what I mean?
Of course, man. Good question. So with Ty Lopez, we do the three things. We stand by humility, being coachable, and trust, of course, and then adaptability. With everything that you do in entrepreneurship, you have to be able to adapt quick. You have to make changes quick. You have to learn things quick. When you get that first client, what we do is, like, sometimes we don't know things. Like, sometimes it's a different type of client that we need to do different work for. What we do is we take, like, the next few, like, once we receive the money from them, we take the next, like, 4 to 8 hours, focus on that one thing that we don't know how to do, develop the skill into that, and then we go to the next day and we say, hey, here's the plan that we're doing. Because a lot of entrepreneurship stuff is just, like, figuring out things on the spot, man. A lot of things, like, I don't know the answer to a lot of things. If you ask me something I don't know the answer to, I'll tell you. I'll go to someone that does know the answer to it, and then I'll come back to you with that. But it's just, like, we have to figure a lot of stuff out in regards to, like, let's just say that we do know what we're doing for that client, though, which is pretty common. We just set up, we collect the money first, and I teach you how to automatically bill your clients. So, set up simple invoices and strive to charge their credit card. You don't have to chase them for the money or anything. We get them set up. We're gonna run the Facebook ads first, like you and me, to like set them up for them at the beginning, just because it's only one client. It's not that much work. Once you know what you're doing and we get to deliver results, then we can outsource that to someone else, and then we can focus on getting the next few clients. But it's just mainly like Facebook ads, and then I'm gonna help you set up the like active campaign. It's a CRM that I use to follow up with all of the leads and clients that they would have. And then I use Text Magic for automatic texting, and I integrate all those things together. In regards to setting up the meetings, we do the meetings over the phone. Like I said, I've never gone to an in-person meeting besides the 2017 one, the restaurant. The rest I close over Skype or Zoom, and we integrate it with Calendly. So you send them a time to book, they book it, and then you know when you have a call and stuff. So everything's pretty much automated. The only thing you have to do is like send out the messages, send out the stuff that I'm gonna give you, and then once the meetings come, you hop on them.
That's sick, dude. That's literally amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? Something else I was just wondering about. So as far as outsourcing, so when you ran, did you run an SMMA? Like you did have a business at one point?
Yeah, and it wasn't even that big though. That's the thing, because I had such little time to like actually grow it before I started working with Choose Pristine. But they showed me how to outsource and delegate the tasks. So what we would do is, once I had 3 clients, because the first 2 I was doing it on my own and they were helping me. The 3 clients, we went on Upwork, and we looked for just freelancers that knew how to, like, Facebook ad specialists. We would hire them for like a certain amount an hour or a certain amount a project. So when I closed a real estate agent for $2,500 a month, I was paying the outsourcer $1,000 a month. And then that was a lot of money though, but the reason I did that was because they were actually providing results for my client. And at the end of the day, that's like
they're actually good.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like I'd rather, like, I need to make my clients money back, or else they're not gonna want to work with us, And what we can do is, like, we can bring them as a part of your team, not like your employee, and then get them to delegate tasks to someone else.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's
all stuff that you're going to learn, man, that you can literally apply anywhere. Like when I started working with Ty and I took all these skills, it was kind of cool because I was ahead of everyone else that was like getting the position, because I knew small little stuff that they didn't. And you can apply it anywhere. And like, Ty is on the go, man. Ty is like very set with the way he likes things, and you can't really slip up on his business. So me having those advantages really helps with him, and it's going to help anywhere else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick. And like, this is all stuff that I'm like wanting to learn. So
yeah,
that makes sense, man.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I would definitely like to at least give it a shot. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest, like, I'm still
a little on the fence about it.
Is the word, but like, I'm still a little bit like, I don't think uneasy, but I'm just nervous, I guess, a little bit, because the truth is, dude, it's like I have basically $0. You know what I mean? Like, I basically have no money right now,
or negatives.
So like, yeah, I'm not in negatives exactly right now, but like, every minute that I put in at work counts. You know what I mean? Because like, I have no free room. I have no wiggle room with money. And like, I really don't even know how the frick I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean?
Well, the fact that you feel that way means that you're a perfectly normal human being. All right, we all feel that way at times. The thing that's gonna make you stand out from all these wannabe entrepreneurs is taking that risk again, willing to invest into yourself and believing in yourself, and having someone like me that believes in you as well, because you have the skills, like you have this, you're confident when you talk. That's the biggest thing. You can communicate with people. If you can get in front of a client, even 1 or 2 a week, you're gonna close something, and all you need really is just me to give you that little cherry on the top, and you're solid, man. Like, you don't need much pushing. You need a lot of stuff to learn about the business, but I wouldn't be doing this right now if I didn't believe in you. I don't work with just anyone. I get a lot of messages on Instagram because I promote myself on there, but I don't work with just random people that, if they're gonna pay me $500 or $1,000 a month, I'm not gonna work with them if I don't feel like I can make them their money back. And the biggest thing I look for usually is like, you, first off, communication skills. How well you're able to communicate with people. 2 is you're doing good right here. You're asking a lot of questions. I like people that are curious. I like people that want to know what they're getting into. And then the third thing is, being coachable. I know that you seem like the type that if I give you the right information, you're going to actually apply it and take action.
Well, right, man. Exactly. And like, the thing is, like, it's not too far away for me from what I've done. Like, I know what it's like to take things on a small scale and grow them and switch them up to a larger scale. Which like when I look back at myself a couple years ago, you know, I learned how to get a single follower a day on Instagram.
Yeah, babe.
Then I learned how to get 10 followers a day on Instagram.
We're good.
And then I scaled that to the point where I figured out how to get 700 followers a day on Instagram. And I feel like a business a lot of times is that like online business, like before you can make $1,000 a day online, you got to figure out how to make $1 a day and then scale it up.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know, I feel like that's a really important thing to have, like a trait to be able to figure things out like that, and just to like ask questions. So like I'm confident in myself that I could do this. You know what I mean? I just like I basically what I'm telling you, man, is I'm pretty much giving you all my beans right now.
Yeah, and that puts pressure on me, Cole. That puts pressure on me, but that's why like I want to make this happen for you, because it's a lot of pressure for me as a person. I'm very genuine and I care about people, but that's how confident I am in both of us, that I know we're gonna make your money back. So I don't want you to, I know it's normal to be scared and nervous, but I want you to be excited, man. You should be excited for, let's say worst case comes, you don't even get a client, you're still gonna learn all those things and you can apply it in the future. But obviously the goal is to get you a client, obviously.
Right, for sure. And like, do you believe like realistically, like getting a client or at least a few will be doable?
It will, man. Let's just focus on the first one. And I have
right.
I have, like, if you show me that you can really put in the work and like you're actually going at it, man. I know people from like Choose Pristine that succeeded and like they have good success stories. I'd want to connect you with them to see how they can help you as well. Because they know more stuff than I do sometimes. And it's just stuff that like you're gonna just build good friendships throughout all of this too. I know people. I know people now. Luckily, fortunately. And like I said, getting that first customer, the reason why the first customer is always the hardest is because you don't believe in yourself that you can do it yet. Once you get that first client, you're like, oh crap, this is actually doable, this actually works, and then you have that confidence moving to the next one. Next thing you know, you close another client within like a week or so.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like honestly, my goal is to, I'll tell you up front, my goal is to close a client within a month. And I don't know if that, I mean, it's totally doable, I'm sure, but I don't know what that would even look like at this point. But like to have one, and typically, like, also some more questions I have. This is really intricate, I guess. But like, how much do you normally charge the minimum? Like $1,000?
Or
does it really just depend? For the service.
Oh, for the clients.
Yeah. For like the package.
That'll be your favorite thing, man. Is that I don't work with any clients less than $1,500 now. For you, the goal would probably be to, like, let's say 1,000. But when you charge so little, like 1,000 or less, you can't even outsource because you're gonna have no money left. No profit margin. So what I focus on now is charging clients above $2,000 a month on a 3-month contract. Kind of with you, like it'll be $497 a month on a 3-month agreement. That way I can have recurring income and I have more time to work with you, because results don't come quick. So we would do the same thing for your clients. A 3-month contract, $2,000 per month. That's $6,000, and that's why I'm saying like the sales is the most important, because if I give you the right information, you apply with your sales, you're gonna be closing high ticket clients like that.
Right, exactly. Very true.
Yeah, so we don't work with like $500, like $800. We don't work with that kind of stuff. We work above $1,500. All right.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, right. I'm just checking, man. Because like the last thing I want to do is get a $250 client.
Oh man,
all my time.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing like a lot of research in this. I know much, but I'm sure you will. Like, but if you like really help me and like are really there for me, like slash like I don't know. Slash, I do a very job. I'm sure you. I will. You can send anybody my way, and I would be like, "This guy's great." Like, I don't even know if that would mean anything to you. But I'm just saying, like, all you have to do is just the minimum with me.
Of course. Cole, do I seem like the type of guy that would fuck you over?
No, you don't.
Good, man. And do I seem like the type of guy that would? Do I seem like the type of guy that would do my absolute best to make sure that you succeed with this?
Yeah, you do.
Awesome, man. So I'm excited to get this going with you, and I'm gonna send you the invoice right now so we can get that locked in. Okay.
All right, sounds good, man. So how okay, so how does this work? I pay $497 each month.
Yeah, man. And
Okay,
the
cool.
goal with me, and you know how you asked earlier, you want to get your client within like the first 30 days. The way
Yeah.
I lay out my plan for my students is it's 30 to 45 days. So I have
Yeah.
specific things done a specific way to like get you to, build the confidence, get you to improve your sales skills. That way when we get onto the meeting, we do that. And then I go into like client outreach and then like actually closing the client, what to do after you get the client, how to onboard them, because I have that automated as well. So it's just gonna be this process that you go through as well, and so, like it's normal to be scared at first, like oh crap, like we're moving slow, That's perfectly normal. It's just like I said, just apply the little things that I put in there, and you're gonna be solid. Just promise me that if you pay the $497 and you get into this, man, you're gonna be in this with me, and we're gonna work together, and you're gonna give me everything that you have.
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
126 in my bank account, minus 500. I had 126 left. No money for rent, so that's why I had to move back home eventually. But everything changed from there, man. So it's your last nickel and dime. I wouldn't want to take it if I didn't believe in myself, but like I said, we're here to work together to make this work. It might hurt right now. You might be in pain right now, but it's not gonna be like that in the next month or so.
Yeah, I feel it completely.
Mhm.
All right, man. Let's do it, dude. Dude, I freaking trust you, man. So
Me too.
let's try, dude. Dude, like this might sound stupid, but I'm so nervous. I'm gonna like send you the money and you're just gonna like block me or something. Because
Nah.
that freaking had to happen one time.
I'm
It's
gonna
the
send
worst
you
thing
an
ever.
invoice through Wave. It's a very secure payment processor. If something like that were to happen, just request. Don't want to be scared. Just take a deep breath, relax, and take a nap or something if you have to. But congratulations.
Thanks, my dude. I'm very excited to be working with you.
Awesome, man. We'll keep in touch, and I'll talk to you later tonight. Okay.
Sounds good, man. Have fun with the girl.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, dude.
Bye
You
bye.
too.
Boom, and that's how we close deals. All right, that was a $1,500 deal. This person was a little tough to close. I'm not gonna lie. They were hitting me up from the YouTube. They were a little skeptical, but my job as a professional, because that's what I am, a professional. I had to not sell them. I had not to convince them. I didn't want to beg them. I had to give them the kind of the empathy that they needed, and saying, hey, I reassure you, like, this is a risk, but I'm here for you. If you don't trust me, it's because you don't trust yourself. And you got to call them out on the BS all the time. He's a great guy. I'm excited to work with him. But sometimes people, they go on and talk about BS and stuff. You got to call them out on it and say, hey, the only reason you're not doing this is not because you don't believe in me. It's because you don't believe in yourself. So let's change your mindset. Let's take this jump. You might be broke right now, but you're not going to be broke forever. Right? So that's a mentality you got to have as a 7-figure man or 7-figure woman. And yeah,